Elijah took the child and brought him down from the upper room into the house and gave him to his mother. And Elijah said, "See, your son lives." 1 Kings 17:23. There's so much emotional weight in this moment because this verse is not only about resurrection, it's about what happens after unbearable pain. For the widow, this is the moment her arms hold what grief already convinced her was gone forever. Can you imagine that? Just hours before, she was holding a lifeless child. The same mother who once feared starvation, then feared losing her future, now stands face to face with a miracle she never imagined possible. And what makes this emotional is God did not only restore her son, He restored hope, safety, trust, the ability to breathe again. Because grief changes people. After deep pain, people do not just fear loss, they fear loving again, trusting and hoping again. And this moment becomes deeply human because Elijah does not keep the miracle upstairs. He carries the child back down. That matters. Because God does not only do private miracles, sometimes He brings restoration back into the exact same place where the pain happened. The same house that held fear, accusations, confusion, death, now holds life. And Elijah, there's an emotional weight on him too. Because imagine the pressure he carried. This was the first recorded resurrection through a prophet. Again, he had no blueprint, no example, not even a guarantee that was going to happen. He had to sit in the tension of, what if nothing happens? And when he says, "See, your son lives," I don't believe this was cold or casual. I think there was a relief in his voice, a deep awareness that God met him in a place beyond human ability. And honestly, this is everyday life too. Because many people are carrying situations that feel emotionally dead. Not physically dead, maybe, but marriages that feel lifeless, relationships that broke, dreams that collapsed, ministry that exhausted them, joy that cannot seem to recover, trust that disappeared after betrayal, faith that became tired after disappointment. Some people are walking around functioning externally while internally holding grief no one sees. And this story reminds us, God cares about what people silently carry upstairs. The hidden pain, the private crying, the conversations nobody hears. And sometimes restoration does not happen instantly. Sometimes there is waiting, confusion, wrestling, silence before breakthrough. But this verse shows us something powerful. What feels impossible to us is not unreachable to God. And maybe the most beautiful part is this. The widow could not resurrect her son herself. Elijah could not resurrect the son in his own strength either. The miracle required human surrender and divine intervention, which means there are moments in life where strength alone is not enough. Sometimes we need God to breathe life back into things we no longer know how to carry. And maybe today, your "see, your son lives" moment is not literal resurrection. Maybe it is peace returning, your heart softening again, joy slowly coming back, healing after trauma, clarity after confusion, hope after a long dark season. Because God still restores people in places that once felt filled with loss. And maybe that is what someone listening today needs to hear. Just because something felt dead does not mean God stopped working. See, your son lives. With love, seal, a verse to breathe,